Well, this is Sunday. This is right. This is Sunday. What day is today? That's right. The 8th day of January, in the year 2017, Common Era. I say that because if you've never seen this before, this is a daily disquisition that I give to you. I provide this to you daily. I'm not one of these one a week, one every couple of days. Every day. In fact, I do more than one a day, but I think that's pushing it. Plus, I kind of hit the 30-minute mark because stats show me that attention spans kind of go south shortly thereafter. So there's some metrics, there's some psychometrics and specifics that I have involved in this heretofore. I've got a number of things to talk about. And first and foremost, I want to tell you that as an American, as somebody who normally would like to be respected around the world, I cannot believe what a laughingstock our intelligence community is and has been. From the DNI, CIA, FBI. I mean, it is horrible. Let me see if I can wrap it up this week. Or wrap it up, rather. This week, towards the end of the week, there is to date no evidence that Russia hacked anything. When I say Russia, I mean Russian government, Vladimir Putin, not something other than somebody who was a Russian, somebody who has a Russian last name, somebody who likes Russian dressing, somebody who can speak Russian, somebody who... None. Clapper's testimony absolutely eliminated and reversed, if not dissolved and evaporated, anything that was said before. But yet, the mainstream media kept saying during the week that there's evidence of Russia doing this. There is no evidence. Let me say this again. There is no evidence. None. It does not exist. It's beyond preposterous. Would Russia want to be able to affect the elections? Yes. Would France want to be able to affect the elections? Yes. Do countries, including the United States, want to affect elections? Yes. Have we affected elections? Not only have we affected them, but we have deliberately been involved in changing, if you will, and deliberately affecting the course of it. Look at what Obama did with Bibi Netanyahu in Israel. Look what he did with Brexit. And we paid for it. I mean, so we're not, imagine what you would think if Putin came to the United States, campaigned on a regular basis for Trump or against Hillary or for whomever. You would say, what is this? What is going on here? That's what Obama did regarding Brexit. That's what Obama did against Bibi. Do you understand that? Let me stop right there. If you understand that, if you understand how we did this, and that we have absolutely no leg to stand on, not to mention our history of regime change and go down the list, I mean, you do understand that. Because if you don't, I will just continue with this until you understand it. Let me reiterate, let me perorate, let me review the evidence. There is no evidence, none, that Russia, Putin, the Russian government, the FSB, the whatever, hacked into, I guess, DNC headquarters, because even the accusations are very, very weird. Hacked into DNC, not that files were hacked or that Podesta's emails weren't hacked through malware, which he allegedly involved himself with. You get these all the time. I get stuff from PayPal, iTunes. This one says, we need to update your address and your password, and there's been a security breach. And you look at it, and you look at the address of this supposed iTunes or PayPal email, and what it shows is some Gmail account or something that, it happens all the time. Apparently, Podesta fell for that. Let me say again, there is no evidence of this. You see how this proof thing, and yet, if you watch and listen to MSDNC and others in that horrible Department of, or NDI report, or is it DNI, NDI? Anyway, the main, the Clapper type of, there's nothing there. You mentioned 18 groups. I mean, there's no, but I read it. I read it thoroughly. I'm thinking there's nothing there. This is the same thing we hear, and I keep telling you, not you, but when folks say there is evidence, they're still pushing this Pizzagate story, which, listen, I'm saying keep going if there's any evidence regarding international pedophile rings, because those indeed exist. But you have to understand what proof and evidence mean, not suspicion. I mean, look at the two. You have one group of people say, wow, Vladimir Putin likes Trump. That may be. Why wouldn't he? Why would anybody apparently 6 million Americans like them too. Sean Hannity likes him. A lot of people like him. So it's not a Russian thing. And why wouldn't you want him to be versus a Wall Street shill and a warmonger like Hillary and McCain? McCain, who's talking this insane talk about this is a cause of war or an act of war or wow. I mean, we are really getting out of our league here. I mean, we're losing our minds with this stuff. It's very, very scary. And it should concern you. So, I reiterate, I perorate, I review, I repeat. All this talk last week, and there's no evidence. None. Isn't that aren't you ashamed? I am. I mean, how silly. And if you don't know what fake news is, if you don't understand that by repeating this story where there is no evidence, that's fake news. Now, the next point is simply this. Here's my question. Does somebody have stock in RT? I know it's a phrase we use. I know there's no such thing as that, but RT could not possibly have enjoyed the shout out, the mention. I mean, it is unprecedented, unheard of, unbelievable. Did you know about this? Have you heard of RT? It's a fantastic network. Online, regular, digital platforms. RT America, RT.com, RT Arabic, UK, RT France, RT. I mean, it's huge. I have been associated with them as a legal and media analyst for about a couple years, and they have done some of the most incredible programming ever. Not against the United States, but involving issues that should be embarrassing. And what's embarrassing is that when you have a quote, foreign network or platform doing such exquisite and incredibly important documentary style reporting by many, in virtually every case, Americans. And you know what I mean? It should embarrass you. And when you write something about the Flint water problem, when you write about fracking and pipelines, and when you talk about police abuses and Chicago black sites, and when you talk about Bundy and standoffs, when you talk about anything along those lines, whatever it is, these are subjects that are covered by and should be covered by other American news outlets and the like, right? So they're doing that as well. Are they un-American? No. It goes to show you one of those things where you're talking about something that's not against America. This is true stuff. True, actually important and critical stories that you should know something about. I'm not. You're not going to hear anything involving the truth in Syria other than RT. Oh, I shouldn't say that. There are other people that are doing that as well. But RT has provided a look into Syria that nobody in the American mainstream media are doing. BRICS, nobody even mentions BRICS, right? BRICS, ask your friends if they know about that acronym. Brazil, Russia, India, China, and South Africa. Ask them. No, of course not. No. During the 70th, 70th anniversary of World War II, coverage was amazing. No, and believe me, you're not going to be hearing that coverage. Because in many respects, I mean, put it this way, I don't want to relitigate this, but there are many people who believe that Russia won World War II. I'm not going to go there. What I'm saying is their coverage was exemplary. So if you see what they're doing, if that's un-American, by merely doing great reporting, then Democracy Now! And go down the list, PBS and Frontline, and just go down. I mean, these are important and critical stories. It's phenomenal to me how they've zeroed in on RT. So going back, number one, who was the idiot who said, let's put out this report that says there's proof of Russian hacking when there's not? And two, let's build up the reputation of RT. Why don't you just keep it quiet? I would tell these folks, don't mention. If you really believe that RT is some propaganda site, don't mention them. Why are you doing this? I don't get it. I do not get any of it. Now, next point. Over the weekend, I learned that Nat Hentoff passed away. Nat Hentoff, 91, I believe, 91, was a sui generis, nonpareil, an incredibly important, brave character. And why I liked him a lot. Spoke with him, didn't know him, but certainly knew of him. He was a New York fixture. Respected his work tremendously. But what he did, aside from being so fascinating in terms of being a jazz historian and writing about this incredibly important American source of music, jazz, but he was a First Amendment advocate, which is near and dear to my heart. First Amendment, they don't call it the First Amendment for nothing. He agreed with me completely in terms of hate crimes being the worst possible means by which ideas and motivations and thoughts and hateful ideas alone are penalized when added to and conjoined with behaviors that are already cognizable or already illegal. All right? Cognizable at law or illegal. And what he did too was, this was an atheist, Jewish atheist, who was against abortion. He said what he wanted. People that I know who have said, I'm the most respectful of, are people who said, I'm doing it my way. I'm saying what I want. I don't care what you think. And these could be left or right, or because we need that desperately. When people like David Duke even said some of the most insane things to beat, say what you want. I don't ever necessarily approve of what people say. That's not the issue. But the idea of somebody being brave enough to say something that sometimes is right or wrong or crazy, I've got to tell you, and this is important for you to understand, that is a critical thing. We need more people like that. Not more David Dukes, not more Lyndon LaRouches but we had Abby Hoffmans in the old days. We had Angela Davises. We had Eugene V. Debs. We had people. We had Ted Nugents and Ann Coulters and people who speak up. And Ann Coulter is very, very popular and successful, but not loved by everyone by any stretch of the imagination, and not necessarily respected by everybody, but loved and respected by many. And how many people do that? I have a friend of mine, I'm not going to mention his name. He's a young man who presents and explicates and references and speaks on behalf of the socialist, communist, Marxist world in a way that is so brilliant, so lucid, so unbelievably just illuminating, because he focuses on the fact that you don't know what you're talking about when it comes to communism or socialism or Marxism or whatever it is. I respect him greatly for that. Nat Hentoff, like the aforementioned, spoke his mind and was smart, back behind it, stood up to it, did not back down. Could have been easy. Easy. Just don't even bring this up. Go for the easy stuff. Go and be write about jazz and be more mainstream. To advocate or to be against abortion and basically, pro-life, while you're basically you're providing this kind of, you would call it leftist, but it's not really. But this free speech, kind of hip, open-minded worldview, I just think that's so incredible. The people who have done so much that I respect are people who stood up and said, this is what I believe in, and I hope there's a market for it. And people who are also smart and respected. Nobody respects Don Lemon. Nobody respects Don Lemon. You kind of respect him almost like you do like a Pee Wee Herman, like this character, because Don Lemon is a character, but no, not really. It's funny you say that. When Stephen Colbert, this is an aside, but when Stephen Colbert finds that he's having a difficult time getting traction doing what he's doing, he suffers the same fate as Borat, Sacha Baron Cohen, Paul Rubens, Pee Wee Herman, and now him, because he was this person and then he wants to back off it. People are saying, no, that's what we wanted. We wanted that. We don't want you to be the heel or the face, whatever the particular wrestling analogy is. So Nat Hentoff, I commend him to you. I respect him so much. He is an absolute, just an indefatigable defender of the First Amendment. We need more people like that, without a doubt. Okay, a couple of other things. In no particular order. I was reading about the president and the first lady who had their valedictory, their last big party before, back to school or whatever the particular analogy is, when he leaves and says goodbye to the White House. And what amazed me? What amazed me is, out of all the people that you could have and invite at the White House, he had the most incredibly prolific list of usual suspects and B-listers. Jesus Christ. Tom Hanks, Jerry Seinfeld, Paul McCartney. It's over. Paul McCartney was Paul McCartney. What he is now is he's everywhere. It's okay. I never understood. Jay-Z, I don't know if Jay-Z was there, but Pharrell. It's so sad. I'm looking at the guest list. I'm thinking, this is it? This is what you want. And the reason why I'm bringing this up is people are saying, in essence, that it's so unpresidential of Trump to be issuing his, doing his stuff, his edicts, his fiats, his directives through Twitter. That's not good. God, man. Be presidential. Would you act presidential for once in your life? Good God, would you please be presidential? You think Barack Obama is presidential? I want to go back to the days of when Jackie Kennedy and JFK invited Pablo Casals, and it was. Do you understand? And they said the same thing about Reagan, because Reagan, they said you can have anybody over you want. You can command performance, in essence. And they wanted to go up in their residence and sit on a TV tray and watch old movies, which is their province. But I thought, God. And look at the people that Obama hangs around with. This is, what are they, 20-year-olds? Look at this. This is Tom Hanks. God bless Tom Hanks, but that's it. This is it. Oprah, enough with Oprah. Enough with these people. Let me tell you something. I want you to think about this. And I want you to comment below on this video. And I want you to ask yourself this question. Imagine you're the president of the United States. Anybody you wanted. You just say, I want you to come here. What would you do? Forget the legacy. Forget whether it helps anybody. Anybody you wanted. They'll come, for the most part. Unless you're Trump, and then, nobody wants to because they're too afraid to piss off their other prototypically professional left friends. But, I was thinking recently I have been so enamored and fascinated by two gentlemen of note. Terence Tao and, Terence Tao is a mathematical genius. He was a prodigy at the age of 7. He won the Fields Prize, which is the math equivalent of the Nobel Prize. And Edward Witten, who is a physicist of, incredible note. He also is the only physicist to have won the Fields Prize, which is math. Now, both of these folks, both of these gentlemen, TAO, Terence Tao, and Edward Witten, have this flat affect. They are the most unexciting people when you speak to them, but they don't have to be exciting. Their work is exciting. And I watch their lectures, and I'm fascinated by, it's like listening to a language I do not and will never understand, involving the symmetry, the operating manual of the universe. They are just two of many astounding people, historians, whatever. And I would I would have Steely Dan for a variety of reasons, just to be able to listen to them and talk music with them. I want to talk to Tao and to Witten and say, how do we get kids involved in math and physics? How do we do this? It would be my goal. I would bring, and by virtue of doing this, people would say, who is that guy? Who is it? I would make science cool again. Do you realize that in 1905, when Einstein, as a young man, basically hit the stage and then came to this country when he left, obviously, Germany at the time, how he was, he was a physicist and he was a rock star. We don't care about that anymore. Nobody understood what relativity was. E equals MC squared. They didn't know what that means. Didn't matter. He was a rock star, not because of his hair, not because of, but and there were others, Niels Bohr, who with quantum mechanics and others, but Edward Teller later on with the nuclear thing. But there was this appreciation almost for Edison and the inventors, scientists. We had more of a respect for Hemingway and O'Neill and writers and playwrights and we were just more, it would seem, maybe I'm just romanticizing, but seemed to be more literate, more appreciative of what these people did. And to think that the President of the United States, arguably, perhaps, the most powerful man and one day woman on the planet, would have as his guest serving chicken and waffles at 4 a.m, which, by the way, is delicious, though I don't perform the manufacturing of either, what with the eggs and the chicken itself, but still, because that's American, and I love to be quintessentially American, but this goes to show you, this is the mindset. This is like this. It's like if you had, imagine if somebody said, well, if Trump says, well, not even a Freudian mistake, but a mistake. If Obama said, well, understand, these are my people, and Tom Hanks is my generation, and I guess mine too, maybe, sort of. And I like this kind of music. I say, well, what if I were bringing like Jerry Lawler and Bobby Heenan? Well, that I can understand. But if I brought wrestlers in, nothing but NASCAR people, you think, what is this guy all about? Have you listened to some of these musicians we're talking about? Have you listened? Have you ever had the chance to listen to them? Have you ever heard Paul McCartney speak about anything? Anything? Did you ask yourself, how did this man write any of this stuff? Have you ever heard De Niro speak? My God. I'm so It just goes to show you. But that's fine. But that's who we're having there. Now, with Trump, I don't know who he's going to have in. I have no idea. But that's something about the presidency that I would always imagine. I could just, oh my God. The artists, the sculptors, Chuck Close, American, foreign. But it will be that kind of thing. That I would think more of a selective and, dare I say, more presidential invitation. All right, enough of that. I wrote some other notes here. I got to tell you something before I forget. Maybe you've heard of this before. I don't know. I have a friend of mine who, this reminded me because I wanted to tell you this, who was emblematic of the, I understand blackness better than other people, even though I'm white. And she said, I'm Afro-sympathetic. And I said, what? Well, you wouldn't understand. You like Trump. Oh, okay. Well, I think I like Trump because Trump hasn't done anything yet. I think I like him sure as hell more than Hillary. Anybody but Hillary. By the way, Hillary might be running for mayor of New York. I'll vote for her. I'll vote for Emmanuel Lewis, TV's Webster. I don't care. But she says, I'm Afro-sympathetic. I said, oh, really? So you understand? Yes, I understand what it's like to be black, and I understand the black perspective. I said, no, you don't. In fact, not only do you not understand, but black people don't understand the black perspective because there is no black perspective. Which black perspective are you talking about? Can I say I understand the white perspective? What the hell does that mean? I don't even know what that means. So how can I say it? It's ridiculous. It's nonsense. We're trivializing race to the point where we're not being serious about it. We won't even talk about it when it really does matter. When it doesn't matter, we want to talk about it. We want to talk about it like the subject we don't want to talk about. Very, very gingerly. Don't bring up the race thing. I know the torture in Chicago. I know they're fine. Just talk about hate or schooling or parenting, but don't bring up the black. Hate that. I hate that. And there's nothing more racist than being patronizing to black people. Oh, I understand that. Poor things. They need me. They can't speak for themselves. They need me. Oh, shut up. Okay. 2 more things here before I forget. 1, funny thing happened to me the other day. Okay. I had to tell you this. In New York we have Uber, and I'm sure where you were too. Uber, Lyft, Via, all these other things. I love Get. G-E-T-T. It's the best. $8.98 anywhere in the city within like 30 minutes or 4 miles or whatever. Anyway, it's called the Get deal. G-E-T-T. The best. I love them. Great cars, cheap, fast, terrific. So, as many people do now, because now we know how this is, you come out of a building and there's a car there, and So I came out of this appointment I had, and there's a car. Flashers blinking. Guy rolls the window down. He says, Michael? It's my real name. Michael? I said, yes. Come on in. I sat down. He turned to me and goes, hey, you're Lionel, aren't you? And we were off down 3rd Avenue. Oh, you're Lionel, aren't you? Yeah. Blah, blah, blah. Blah, blah, blah. Returning. I said, by the way, I think 53rd is better than 51st because of the traffic. He said, what do you want, the Holland or the Lincoln Tunnel? I said, the what? The Holland or the Lincoln? I'm going to Hell's Kitchen. What are you talking about? I said, wait a minute. I said this. Is this Get? He says, no, it's Uber. Slam on the brakes. His phone comes out. My phone gets out. I'm calling my guy. Whoever the driver was, I said, no. Wait. Don't leave. I'll be there. Because I'm thinking I'm going to get charged for the wait. Understandably so. And he's calling the person he apparently abandoned. So we're on the phone basically begging them, please, we made a mistake. And I thought, ain't this something? We're having a nice chat. We went all around the block, came back very slow. I got out, jumped. I'm on the phone, and I called up this fellow. I said, where are you? He said, I'm in the Toyota Camry. They're all Toyota Camrys. Which one are you? I'm looking for the license tag. They're all flashing. I can't find anybody. So I thought, this is interesting. Goodbye, yellow cabs, which I detest. By the way, if you drive a New York City cab, you don't buckle your seatbelt in the back, you're a fool. Because people face plant, they hit that screen, that plastic, that bulletproof thing. They go to the emergency room all the time because it smells. The guy smokes. He's on the phone. You can't. It's horrible. And expensive. Get the best. So anyway, so as I get out of the car, I thought, where is he? There's all these cars parked, flashing. I'm going up to each car, looking at that. So there we go. Have you ever had that happen before? We get into the wrong car, and I'm sure it's going to happen. And also, you still have a nice, discussion. And my wife said, "Oh my God, that's kind of dangerous." I said, "What do you mean?" She said, "Well, you're getting in the wrong car." I said, "No, I'm getting in the wrong service car. I'm not getting into some stranger. I'm not walking up to somebody, with a severed head and the guy's got a cooler in the back, named Buddy with a maroon rag and a side. I'm not getting into that. It's a different story." Finally, this email that I'm going to read to you right now. I'm not going to ever give out your name, by the way. If you email me, I'm not going to give out your name ever. Never going to do that. But I had to say this. I had to read this to you. Because, as you know, most of them are just exquisite. Emails are so nice with pictures of where you live and your family and your dogs. I got to read this to you. Name, subject, your hair. Date, January 7th. I'm reading it and it's entirely minus the name. Lionel, I, like you, don't want to hang around people who are stupid. Now that my kids are grown, I just like to hang around the house, enjoy my life with my wife. I am very particular who enters my home, and that includes people who are on the television and internet. I enjoy our one-way conversation and can imagine you to be a guest at our home on a Saturday afternoon enjoying a great barbecue with ribs, steak, or whatever you and your wife enjoy. Obviously a newcomer, being a plant-based, avowed vegan, doesn't matter. It's a nice, nice gesture. Thank you, sir. Here we go. But, if you could, please stop dyeing your hair. You are much too intelligent to think you are fooling anyone. Embrace your natural self. Did Plato dye his hair? Or did Aristotle worry about erectile dysfunction? I don't know, but probably not. He might have worried about erectile dysfunction, but I'm just a thought, thank you, and the name. Quote, you are much too intelligent to think you are fooling anyone. Embrace yourself, but please stop dyeing your hair. My friends, not that this matters to anybody, but I just had to tell you this. I just love this email for two different reasons. One, the prefatory, the prolegomenon, very nice, and then boom. Number one, I promise you, and I swear on my eyes, I have never in my life, as long as I've trod or walked upon this planet, have I ever placed a drop of dye or anything on my head. Now, I will tell you, years ago when I was on Court TV, when my beard was kind of starting to turn kind of whitish, the makeup woman, very nice woman, said, I can black this, because it was weird. It starts, you don't want anything to distract. I don't give a damn whether it's white or whatever, because I earned it. But on TV, it's like if you have one little white part, you look kind of like Pat Caddell. Remember Pat Caddell, the poster in the old days? You had that, it looked like his mouth was ripped open, but it was this white streak. It looked like superstar Billy Graham or Skunk Baxter or something with this, Anyway. Or Terry Bollea, Hulk Hogan. So anyway, so this, we can put the mascara, or you can get just for men or something. I put this on my face, on the beard, and it took off like the first layer of skin. I mean, I had welts. I had the worst allergic reaction. That is the only time I've ever dared to change the hue, the tint, the color of any hair whatsoever. I promise you. Not that it matters. Not that I have to tell you. Now, I don't know if you see this, but how I could possibly, first of all, do it's the truth. So I just had to share that with you. Believe me when I tell you this. I'm extremely honest with you. But this fascinates me on so many levels. It's the erratum of it as well, but also the fact that it's kind of how do I say this? It's boorish to an extent and profoundly wrong. That being said, All right. Thank you. Now, as you noticed, this is Sunday, January 8th, so you have to subscribe to this daily. By the way, I just saw one of the Ayatollahs died in Iran. We'll get to that later. Notice I'm heartfelt about it, but I'll get to it later. Just heard about it. Make sure you like the video. Make sure you comment below. And make sure you subscribe to this. It's critical. We're looking at 41,000 plus subscribers. And we're about to hit 7 million views, which is amazing, considering that it's me and you. And I'm astounded by it. And I thank you for that. Okay? So be apprised and be aware. In any event, that is that. Have a wonderful day. By the way, as we speak, today it's now 19 degrees in New York City. It snowed yesterday. What are you going to do? Not the end of the world. But the weather people, I know I give them a hard time, but they were just going on and on and on and on about the snow. I understand. Whatever. Okay. Thank you for this. Like and subscribe. And now you may, as always, comment as you see fit.